video. And that's how I be. Man, I'm so excited for all these beautiful changes that are taking place. It may feel uncertain. We don't know exactly where it's all headed. I mean, I can speak personally. Maybe this resonates with you as well. But I do trust in the bigger plan always. There's always a bigger picture happening. Excuse me. Let me clip this on here. Boom. You know, I wanted today to be more of like a chill hangout session. Nothing crazy. Again, the astrological transits that are super important are going to happen until towards the end of the week. Okay, but we still have Venus in retrograde, Mercury in retrograde, Neptune just moved into the sign of Aries. And so, pretty big change. And also, we recently had the new moon, solar eclipse. So there's certainly a lot of change. That is for sure. It's never a busy never a dull moment in the astrological sides of things. But I think it's important to what's going on, Production. I think it's good. I think it's good to just be open to the flow of life versus trying to make it a very certain way or path, okay? You know, Bruce Lee said, be like water. And I resonate with that because that's the best energy to be in a flow state versus rigid. Right? But there's also a balance that needs to be struck between the two. Shout out to I peed myself. What's going on? So that's a cool, funny little screen name. I like that. But any questions, drop them below. But yeah, I think, and that's kind of been the flow state, especially with this big move from Neptune to Aries. It's like things are different. And that eclipse, the post-eclipse, like things are fundamentally different. But when this shift happens, the way we get to understand, know, and connect with these changes is by slowing down and going with the flow. Because a lot of people, they have like this external outcome that they want to get to. And they measure their success, their worth, their happiness by some external outcome, success, whatever, you know. But during times like these, allow yourself to explore, allow yourself to play, to be curious about whatever excites you in the moment. Of course, don't get crazy with it and don't lose your mind trying to, you know, go above and beyond and go out your way chasing fleeting pleasures and joys. I'm talking about real, genuine passion, right? This surrendering onto the magic of who you are versus looking for that magic outside of yourself. Because a lot of people do that. When we have these big changes that occur, we have to allow ourselves to be more fluid. We have to be like, all right, let's just go. Let's go with the flow. Versus, let me make sure it looks just like this, you know, like in a very like rigid outcome. While it may be that it's better than you can even imagine. So just go with the flow. Allow yourself to be curious, expand, embody this childlike spirit of play. especially with Aries energy. Aries is the beginning of the zodiac. It literally represents the child of the zodiac, the beginning. And, I mean, what can I say? If you guys haven't checked out my Neptune and Aries video with my friend Christy, highly recommend that you guys do check that out. Shout out to Bram Duncan joining us. But I wanted to make this informal today. Like nothing too crazy. I have a bunch of stuff that I need to get done tonight. But I've been flowing. You know? It's like this resurgence of like creative energy. And I talked about this in the Neptune Aries video with my friend. If you, shout out Lamborghini, if you allow yourself to never lose your innocence, and if you did the spiritual work, okay, I don't want to get too woo-woo here, but like from 2012 until 2025, we had this Neptune in Pisces cycle. And this was the time for spirituality. We're going to revisit this one final time. But now it's all about action. You have to act. As long as it's in the flow. Aries, action. Neptune, flow. You see how that works? And if you do that, I think you're going to have a good time. It's going to be all good in the hood, as they say. But we're going to do more hangouts here. We're going to hang out, like, one of the realizations that I had, it's like these astrology conversations, unless you have specific questions, this is like our time. Do you get what I mean? You come here, we hang out, we shoot the shit. You have questions, you ask, I answer. If you have music requests, I play it. Because like I said, I love music and, you know, I may not be from the hood. Actually, you know what's funny, Crawford? I'm from Iran, bro. which is, and I don't want to talk shit about my own country, but it's pretty fucking hood there. And it's like, it's so hood, you can't even dance in public. Because you know why? You get arrested. Because it's illegal. It's against Islamic law. That's fucking hood, bro. Not these hoods. You know, imagine going to jail for dancing in the streets because you're happy. That's hood, bro. Anyways, as I was saying, these sessions are for us. We're going to hang out. We'll listen to music. And, you know, play with the tuning forks, some music, whatever. Ash Vanilla said, do you do stuff with crystals? I do. I wear crystals. This is like a little onyx bracelet. You know what I'm saying? Got some bling. This is labradorite and then shungite. So we do rock the crystals here, you feel me? Good vibes only. So, yeah, this is what's going to happen from here on out. And I think it's important to make my day ones aware of that. But even people who come here and hang out and we're just chilling, you know? This is, that rock from outer space. She says, I love crystals. My Nana got me some Larimar. Oh, nice. Yeah, I got this too. Nano CBD just mentioned it. This is called Moldavite. It is a tektite. Whoa, I lost my thing here. This is called Moldavite, as Nano CBD mentioned it. It is a tektite. It is, I actually looked up the age, it's 14.7 million years old. Can you believe that? That is an old ass crystal. But I do have something else. It's called the Munyanolista meteorite. Supposedly, and I'll rock it one time for you guys to wear, but it was that circular thing. I don't know if you guys ever seen me wear those. That, supposedly, that meteorite is 20 million years older than the Earth. Shout out to MPG Websites and Paul for joining. Welcome aboard. So yeah, this is a 14.7 million year old crystal. And it's not a crystal, again, it's a tektite. It's a form of glass that was formed. And this meteorite fell in the Czech Republic, and it is known to be 14.7 million years old. Well, another time I'll wear my Munyanolista meteorite and rock that for you guys so you guys can see. But that's cool, Ash Vanilla. Thanks for sharing. Make sure you guys are subscribed for more live streams. We just kick it here. And I know people like Nano CBD have been here, my day ones. You know, there's a lot of evolution going on, a lot of changes, especially with the world. Not just with the world, but, you know, we talk astrology here, we talk spirituality, we talk philosophy, and we try to have a good time, you feel me? Where's Dean? Dean Davis. Where is Dean Davis? He'll probably watch the live and he'll be like, damn, you know, he's been busy, bro. He's been busy. But anyways, I wanted to keep it short and sweet today, okay? Shout out to Cheddar as well. And let's start slowly moving and migrating to my car. Shout out Dean Davis. We're going to attach the microphone to the moldavite crystal. But anyways, guys, ooh, it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful morning. Yeah. Shout out to Cheddar, man, for joining. We're just kicking it. I think we're leaving here shortly anyways. But my main message for today was pretty simple. And that is, go with the flow. Don't base your happiness on an external reward or outcome, something outside of you, because the magic lives within us all. And if you understand that, you're going to have a pretty sweet experience. This human journey has a lot of twists and turns, but it might treat you well. Just because you chose wisdom, you chose practical wisdom. And the other thing too is we're creators. We are creators of our lives. There are things that we don't control, and you might be wondering what that is. What is it that we don't control? And that is the outcome. But the right to work, the right to action is inherent in us all. We only have a right to the process, to creativity, to the work. Some call it the great work. But we're not entitled to the outcome, unless you're a magician, but that's a whole different story. And in order to be a magician, guess what you have to do? You have to work. You have to try stuff out. You have to do trial and error until you get to a place where you know exactly what you're creating and what is needed to make it happen. If someone if someone predicts the future, doesn't that imply everything is preordained? This is a deep question, and yes, my personal belief on that is, I don't think I think there is choice, but you have to become aware of the choices available. And if you are not, if you're stuck in this like loop or cycle or pattern, then you don't really know the choices available to you. And when you choose differently, that's when you take greater control of your destiny. Even in astrology, it's not so like deterministic. It's not like, oh, this is going to happen. But there's correlations. There are correlations. And let's say you go to an astrologer and they tell you, be careful on this day regarding this. You basically were meant to not experience that thing. And you can say, oh, that was also destiny, which is equally true. Or divine intervention. Because I do believe in divine intervention. And, you know, life happens, right? Shout out to Cheyenne. Life happens. But I believe in magic and I believe in miracles. But remember what I say. You must always act on your passions, your deep inner joy, to the best of your abilities, and take it as far as you can. But beyond that, the outcome is uncertain. Shout out Cheese. Shout out Gen X Leo as well. You feel me? Brother Cheese. Oh, we got cheese and cheddar in the chat. Yo, make sure you guys are subscribed because I'm probably going to drive and I got to get off the stream. But I go live Sunday to Friday. Come kick it. Come hang out. We talk all things astrology, spirituality, music, your goals, your dreams, your passions, all the good stuff. I know people who predict someone's death from a visit from that person's spirit. Wow. It happens. These are, at the end of the day, honestly, I know that I don't know. I think life is just so much more infinitely nuanced and layered than any human can predict. Although there are esoteric studies and sciences and, little pockets of knowledge where we can learn about those things. But I know that I don't know. I chose even astrology. Like when I think about it, I'm like, why did I begin studying astrology? What impelled me? Because it's not something that you're like, it just happens, right? I don't want to say you're not born with it, because in a sense, I feel like you are born with it, with whatever inclinations that you may have. But, I didn't have to be here. I think there's like a staggering, like crazy number. It's like for the 10 generations that it took to create you here now, it was like somewhat of upwards of like 1,000 people had to exist in order for you to be here. So life is pretty freaking bizarre. So that's what it is. Take care, Cheddar. I hope to see you soon, my man, my friend.